The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen R. Covey.
Welcome, lovely audience. It's such a pleasure to have you with us today as we dive into the exhilarating world of Stephen R. Covey's masterpiece, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Get ready to be inspired and empowered by the transformative habits and principles that have changed millions of lives. As we explore these life-altering concepts together, you'll discover how to unlock your full potential and lead a more fulfilling, successful life. So, let's get started on this incredible journey.
About the author.
Stephen R. Covey was an American author, educator, and speaker known for his expertise in leadership and personal development. Covey's work focuses on principles of self-improvement, effective interpersonal communication, and time management. He also co-founded the FranklinCovey Company, a global organization that provides training and consulting services in the areas of leadership, productivity, and personal development.
What can you learn from this book? The habits that make a difference for successful people.
Do you want to fully tap into your potential in life? Do you desire a more effective way of working? Or simply, do you want to become the best version of yourself? Whatever improvement you seek, you will only achieve it if you first change yourself. And the surest way to achieve lasting personal change is to develop and cultivate better habits. We humans have habits. Not just the way we act, but on a more macro level, the answer to who we are is also determined by our habits. Our habits define our character, and like gravity, they shape our behavior in a specific direction. Among many habits, which are the ones that make you more effective? Which habits set successful people apart? Let's focus on the following 7 habits. Habit 1. Be proactive. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 3. Put first things first. Habit 4. Think win-win. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Habit 6. Synergize. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw.
To change oneself most effectively, your aim must be to improve your character, not just your behavior.
When Stephen Covey embarked on his journey to discover the true essence of success, he began by studying over 200 years of literature on the concept of success, starting in 1776. Based on his synthesis of research, he believed there were 2 paths to self-improvement and life change. The first method involves honing the necessary skills for the habits you want to develop. For example, if you want to improve your relationships with others, you might learn communication skills or body language. This approach was particularly popular in the 1920s. Although it sounds like a solid path to developing habits, it is actually just a shortcut that helps you avoid working on the weaknesses holding you back. However, this method rarely leads to long-term personal growth. The second, more effective method focuses on your character, which is based on foundational habits and belief systems that shape your worldview. Only behaviors rooted in one's character can endure over time, particularly qualities such as courage and integrity. This approach has been mentioned in the works of prominent individuals such as Benjamin Franklin. So, if you genuinely want to change, you need to change from the inside out. For example, if you want to have a happy marriage, you must first become a more positive person, rather than just mastering a few simple skills that you think will make others like you more. Let's embark on a journey through these 7 fascinating habits together. As we explore the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey, imagine hearing the author's voice speaking directly to you, the viewer, guiding you towards a deeper understanding of these powerful principles.
Habit 1. Be proactive. Take responsibility for your actions and choices, focusing on what you can control.
What fundamentally distinguishes humans from animals? Animals are considered slaves to external stimuli and can only react to these stimuli as programmed in their nature. In contrast, we humans have the ability to think and perceive before reacting to a stimulus. We can even reprogram ourselves to respond in a specific way that we desire. This means that instead of merely reacting to the world around us, we have the ability to proactively influence it. However, although we all possess this proactive capability, many people choose to reactively depend on external circumstances to control their behavior and emotions. For example, they feel terrible if it is raining outside or if someone else treats them poorly. They often say things like, "It's not my fault," or "I can't control that issue." On the other hand, proactive individuals hold their own opinions. They take responsibility for their lives and make conscious choices about their behavior. They often say things like, "I have decided," or "Let's try to find a solution to this problem." Another way to understand the difference between these two extremes is to imagine two concentric circles. The outer circle is your circle of concern, representing everything you worry about, from electricity bills to the threat of nuclear war. Inside this circle is the smaller circle of influence, representing all the things you can actually do. Proactive individuals focus on the circle of influence, choosing to do things within their control. This helps them expand their circle of influence. Meanwhile, reactive individuals focus on the circle of concern, constantly worrying about things they cannot change. This causes their circle of influence to shrink.
Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Define your goals and values to create a personal mission statement.
Whenever you undertake an action, perform it twice. First, let it happen in your mind through imagination, and then actually carry it out. Just as when building a house, you first envision the style of your house, how the bedrooms are arranged, and whether or not it has a spacious garden. If you don't do this step first, constructing the house may be time-consuming, error-prone, and perhaps not even achieve what you desired. That is why visualizing the desired outcome is crucial before performing anything. The more we understand our goals, the more accurate and realistic our actions will be, resulting in better outcomes. This habit is effective in all situations. For example, most sprinters are trained to visualize how they will run from the starting point, how they will complete a perfect race, and finish in first place. So, whether at work or in personal matters, take the necessary time to visualize. Spending time predicting an action and visualizing the desired outcome will be more effective than hastily focusing on tasks. For instance, think about one of your upcoming projects and write down the exact outcome you desire and the steps you will take to achieve that result. Write a personal mission statement and apply it to your daily life. Imagine that 3 years into the future, sadly, you have passed away. Take some time to visualize your own funeral. Your loved ones, partners, closest friends, or colleagues at work will send you eulogies. Now ask yourself what you want them to say. How do you want to be remembered? And what do you want to be remembered for? Unfortunately, many people spend their time pursuing goals they think are important but never stop to determine their rightness or wrongness. In other words, they don't understand the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Efficiency means achieving the maximum amount of money and performing in the shortest amount of time. These things are meaningless if you don't know what you're striving for and why you're doing it. It's like climbing a ladder placed against the wrong wall. You're making progress, but in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, becoming effective means placing the ladder against the right wall, knowing your destination in life. Effective people don't blindly pursue things like money and fame. They focus on what's important to them. Everything else is a waste. So, how can you precisely determine your destination in life? One useful method is to ask yourself the questions from your funeral exercise mentioned above, and then use your answers as the basis for a personal mission statement. In this statement, you will write down your own life views, who you want to become, what you hope to achieve in life, and the values and fundamental principles that underpin these goals. The mission statement can be understood as a personal constitution, a set of standards established to measure and evaluate everything. With such a foundation, you will sense a clear direction and feel more confident. Some thoughts that may be included in one's mission statement are: I value my work and family and will seek to balance the time devoted to them. I cherish a just society and will strive to express my voice in political decisions. I will proactively pursue life goals rather than merely being swept along by circumstances. As this is a step in establishing a foundation in each person's life, we cannot see immediate results. Write it from your heart, review it multiple times, and even revise it if you feel it is not suitable.
Habit 3. Put first things first. Prioritize tasks and time based on importance and alignment with your values.
Imagine that you've been given a task to complete. How can you proactively take responsibility and accomplish it? Of course, amidst the daily complexities, balancing your roles and relationships, this can be quite challenging, and it requires good time management skills. Unfortunately, time management skills tend to focus on increasing productivity rather than effectiveness. The good news is that in most situations, remembering this simple habit is enough. Prioritize what's most important. Prioritizing what's most important means we know how to arrange our tasks by importance, addressing the most critical ones first, and setting aside less important tasks to be dealt with later or delegated to others. So how do you know which tasks are important? You can apply the time management matrix introduced by the author in this chapter to determine what's most important. The time management matrix divides all our tasks into 4 groups based on their urgency and importance. The first quadrant consists of tasks that are both important and urgent, such as handling a media crisis for your company. The second quadrant includes important but not urgent tasks, such as writing a personal mission statement, building important relationships, and planning for the future. The third quadrant contains urgent but not important tasks, like answering a ringing phone while you're in the middle of other work. The fourth quadrant involves tasks that are neither important nor urgent, in other words, time wasters. Of these, the most important quadrant to focus on is the second one. Actions in this quadrant will have an extremely positive impact on your life. And when you complete all the tasks in the second quadrant, you'll experience fewer crises. Unfortunately, many people don't understand the importance of the second quadrant. While working with a group of managers at a shopping center, the author noticed that although they all knew that building relationships with store owners would yield positive results, they only spent about 5% of their time doing so. Instead, they were constantly busy addressing first quadrant issues like preparing reports for meetings and responding to complaint calls. Encouraged by the author, these managers began to allocate 1/3 of their time to second quadrant tasks, specifically building relationships with store owners from the outset. The results were highly effective, with both satisfaction and revenue skyrocketing. The first step to implementing this habit in your life is to identify the second quadrant work goals that you've been neglecting.
Habit 4. Think win-win. Cultivate mutually beneficial relationships and seek solutions that benefit all parties.
When you interact with others, what kind of outcome do you usually expect? The worldview of most people is shaped by a strong win-lose mentality. This means they view any interaction they have with others, whether in work or personal life, as essentially a competition in which they must fight to gain the upper hand. However, most situations in our lives do not have to be competitive. Life often provides enough for everyone, and it would be much better if all parties aimed for a win-win solution benefiting everyone, rather than struggling for a win-lose outcome. The major drawback of the win-lose mentality is that when two people with this mindset clash, after a fierce battle, both sides lose. The whole pie ends up on the floor. Moreover, a long-term positive relationship cannot form between two people constantly competing against each other. For example, if your company is a service provider to customers and always argues to get the highest price, you may achieve what you want, but customers will likely choose another provider next time, so in the long run, you will lose all your customers. But if you truly adopt a win-win attitude, persist in communication, listen to the other party more, and make an effort to present your views, you will find yourself building many positive relationships because each interaction will strengthen them rather than erode them. When both parties seek a mutually beneficial agreement, customers may remember your company and return next time. This helps you increase profits in the long run. Therefore, we should continue negotiating and communicating until we find a solution suitable for all parties. This is not an easy task. It requires sensitivity and patience, but the reward will be a long-term positive relationship built on mutual trust. A good exercise to practice this skill is to think about an important relationship you have, where you want to develop a mutually beneficial mindset. Now put yourself in the other person's shoes and write down what you believe would create a win for both sides. Finally, approach the other person and ask if they are willing to try finding a satisfactory agreement for both parties. Build good, long-lasting relationships with others by building an emotional bank account. Relationships with others are like an emotional bank account. By investing time, effort, and goodwill into these relationships, the balance in the account increases, reflecting growing trust between the parties. If your account balance is positive, it shows that both parties are flexible and any misunderstandings are quickly resolved. On the contrary, if the balance is zero, the relationship is extremely tense, and every word must be carefully chosen to avoid explosive conflicts. So, how can you grow this type of bank account? We can seek solutions that benefit both parties, keep the promises we have made, or genuinely listen to the other person with empathy. Conversely, engaging in win-lose competition, breaking promises, or half-heartedly listening to the other person will decrease your account balance. Another important deposit is to be loyal to those who are not present, and never badmouth or disclose what they have told you in confidence. This demonstrates to those present that you are trustworthy. Perhaps one of the most important deposits you can make is to try to understand others, because this deposit allows you to discover what they consider important, the things they regard as deposits. A friend of the author understood the importance of this type of deposit. Although not a fan of baseball, he took his son to watch every team play in major tournaments during the summer. A major tournament takes up to 6 weeks and is very costly, but it greatly strengthened their relationship. When asked if he himself enjoyed baseball that much, he replied, "No, but I love my son that much." If you have truly withdrawn from someone's emotional account, gather the courage to sincerely apologize. We need to have the courage to do so, and people usually feel happy to forgive someone who shows genuine remorse.
Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Listen empathetically and communicate your perspective effectively.
Imagine you're feeling discomfort from an eye pain, and when you consult a doctor, they listen to your symptoms half-heartedly and immediately prescribe medication. Or, what would happen if an ophthalmologist handed you their own glasses without bothering to check your vision, claiming that since the glasses help them see better, they'll be effective for you too? You probably wouldn't trust their advice, would you? Although these examples sound absurd, we often behave this way in our daily lives, especially when talking to others. We don't truly listen to what the other person is saying and instead think through our own lens, offering quick solutions and prescriptions for them. Generally, such advice is hardly welcome because people tend to trust someone's judgment only if they feel that person truly understands their situation. So, if you want to be respected as a good listener and offer insightful advice, you need to develop empathic listening skills. This requires a shift in mindset from, "I'm listening so I can provide an answer," to, "I'm listening so I can truly understand you." Empathic listening means making an effort to dive deep into another person's frame of reference to understand them intellectually and emotionally. According to communication experts, the words we speak account for only 10% of our communication effectiveness, while tone accounts for 30%, and our body language accounts for 60%. Therefore, to practice empathic listening, you shouldn't just listen. You should pay attention to feelings, behaviors, and the meaning behind them. One way to hone your empathic listening skills is to observe a muted conversation. What emotions are being conveyed through the facial expressions of both parties? It takes time and effort to master this skill, but the rewards you'll reap later on are well worth it. If you learn to listen empathically, you'll find that many people are completely open to confiding in you and considering your opinions and advice. They just need someone who genuinely listens.
Habit 6. Synergize. Leverage the strengths of others through teamwork to achieve goals beyond individual capabilities.
If understood deeply, the sixth habit is the highest habit in life, the ultimate test, and the proof of integrating all the habits together. Synergy can create results far beyond the sum of individual outcomes. 1 + 1 can equal 3 or even more. So how can you apply this principle in your own social interactions? Each of us sees the world differently and has unique strengths. You can harness collective strength by being open to others and embracing these differences. When people truly synergize, they listen to each other and collaborate to create something amazing. They work together to solve a common challenge rather than competing against each other. When David Lilienthal was tasked with leading the Atomic Energy Commission after World War II, he assembled a group of highly capable and influential people. Knowing that each person had strong individual characteristics, Lilienthal began by spending several weeks helping the group understand each other better. They explored each other's hopes, fears, and dreams. Many criticized and questioned him, thinking this was inefficient, but this basic interaction helped the group develop an open-minded, trusting, and synergistic mindset. When disagreements arose, instead of opposing, they tried to genuinely understand each other, leading to a culture of respect, creativity, and effectiveness. The path to synergy begins when we view our interactions with others as an adventure. The outcome of this adventure might not be entirely within your control, but you should fully embrace it with openness. This requires a significant level of confidence, as well as a belief that each party's contributions can lead to something amazing, even if the journey to achieve it is somewhat chaotic. Therefore, make a list of people you find difficult to discuss and consider their perspectives. If you are more confident and open, could you find harmony between your views and theirs?
Habit 7. Sharpen the Saw. Continuously invest in self-improvement and personal growth in all aspects of life.
If carpenters spent all their time sawing trees but never stopped to sharpen their saws, they would soon have saws so dull that they could no longer fell any trees. Similarly, if you never pause to take care of yourself, any success you achieve will only last for a short time, as you will soon become exhausted and unable to maintain any good habits you have developed. That's why sharpening the saw is essential for achieving long-term effectiveness in each key aspect of your life. To maintain your physical strength, you need to exercise regularly, eat healthily, and avoid excessive stress. Your mental health also contributes to long-term effectiveness. You should regularly pray or meditate, or simply reflect on your own standards and values. To keep your mind sharp, read many good books, avoid spending too much time in front of the TV, and dedicate time to writing, be it letters, poetry, or a journal. Organizing and planning for everything is also good exercise to keep your mind alert and fresh. Last but not least, take care of your social and emotional relationships by actively seeking to understand others, building positive relationships, and undertaking projects that improve their lives. Be conscious of taking the time to restore and replenish your energy. Many people claim they can't find the time for this, but in the long run, it's essential for achieving sustainable effectiveness, long-term productivity, and robust health. To ensure you genuinely cultivate this habit, write down activities that can contribute to your happiness in each aspect. Then, choose one activity in each area as a goal for each week, and afterward, evaluate your performance. This will help you strive for a balanced renewal in every domain.
Conclude.
The book presents a holistic and principle-centered approach to personal and professional development, focusing on the importance of character, ethics, and values. Covey outlines 7 habits that individuals can cultivate to improve their effectiveness in various aspects of life. These habits are: 1. Be proactive. Develop a sense of responsibility for your actions and decisions, and focus on what you can control rather than blaming external factors. 2. Begin with the end in mind. Establish a clear vision of your desired outcomes, values, and goals, and make decisions aligned with that vision. 3. Put first things first. Prioritize essential tasks and learn to manage your time effectively, focusing on what matters most rather than merely reacting to urgent but less important matters. 4. Think win-win. Strive for mutually beneficial solutions in relationships and collaborations, seeking outcomes that are favorable for all parties involved. 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Develop empathetic listening skills and genuinely understand others' perspectives before attempting to communicate your own thoughts and ideas. 6. Synergize. Recognize the value of teamwork and collaboration, and leverage the strengths and diverse perspectives of others to create innovative solutions. 7. Sharpen the saw. Invest in self-improvement and personal growth by maintaining a balance in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life. By incorporating these habits into daily routines, individuals can improve their effectiveness, develop strong relationships, and achieve personal and professional success. This content is produced by Changes to Success channel. To support the author and learn more about the book, you can purchase the print version by clicking the Buy Print Book button in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to encourage us, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great videos coming soon. Thank you for watching this video, and we wish you success in your life.